The story that everybody is talking about right now is this strong headline moving around online saying that there was a very serious clash between armed bandits and civilian security volunteers inside a forest area in Kaduna State, and that about 35 people were lost in the process. This headline has been shared across many platforms, and it has made people worried, confused, and also very curious to know what truly happened. What we can clearly say is that there was a real security operation in parts of Kaduna forest areas recently, especially around Giwa local government area, where security forces acted on intelligence that an attack was being planned. The police moved in quickly, and there was an exchange of fire. After that operation, the police said that 2 of the attackers were neutralized and that some weapons were recovered. That part is confirmed. The bigger number that is moving around online has not yet been officially confirmed by security agencies, but what it shows is that many people are deeply concerned about what is happening in these forest zones. Before we go deeper, please take a quick moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you will not miss any important update. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to keep bringing you verified and useful information. Now, let us look at why this kind of story spreads very fast. Kaduna has many forest belts and long rural roads that pass through difficult areas. These places are far from the main towns, and they are not easy to monitor all the time. Because of that, they have been used for many years by people who want to hide, move quietly, or plan attacks. Local communities know these areas very well, and because they want to protect their families and farms, they have formed local security groups to support the police and other official forces. These groups are often called civilian joint task forces, vigilantes, or community guards. Their goal is to help keep their villages safe. But when they go into forest areas to support operations, things can become very tense. So when people say there was a clash between bandits and civilian JTF, what they are talking about is that local security helpers and former security officers were involved in stopping people who wanted to cause trouble. In some cases, these clashes can be very serious, especially when both sides are moving in thick forest areas where there is limited visibility and no easy communication. That is why different people who were nearby may report different numbers. One person may see a few people down, another person may hear many sounds and assume many losses, and when these stories move online, they can grow bigger very fast. This is why it is important to separate what is officially confirmed from what is still being discussed on social media. Right now, what is clearly on record is that there was an operation in the Giwa axis of Kaduna State where security forces stopped a planned attack and 2 attackers were confirmed to have been neutralized. Weapons were also recovered. This shows that security agencies are active in that area and are responding to threats. The larger number being mentioned in some posts has not yet been officially confirmed, but it reflects the fear and tension that people feel about safety in forest regions. Please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps more people see this kind of clear and balanced news. And it keeps you connected to real updates. Now, let us talk about the wider picture, because this is not just about one day or one forest. Kaduna, especially places like Birnin, Gwari, Giwa, and nearby rural zones, has experienced many security challenges over time. These are areas with long roads, farms, and forest routes that connect to other states. When such places are not fully controlled, they can become meeting points for different kinds of illegal activities. That is why both the government and the local people are trying to make sure that there is more security presence there. Community security groups exist because people want to feel safe. They want to go to their farms, send their children to school, and travel without fear. When they hear that there might be an attack, they often work with the police to provide information about who is moving where and which parts are being used. This cooperation is important, but it also means that sometimes these local helpers can be close to danger when operations happen. When something goes wrong, it can be difficult to get clear numbers immediately, which is why we must wait for official updates before believing very high figures. What we do know is that security forces in Kaduna are increasing their efforts in these forest zones. The recent operation in Giwa shows that they are acting on intelligence and trying to stop problems before they reach towns and villages. That is a positive sign. It also shows that information from local people is being used to guide these operations. Even though there are still challenges, this kind of action is meant to reduce risk to innocent people. At the same time, we should remember that every number in a headline represents real human lives, families, and communities. That is why it is important to talk about these stories with care, without spreading panic or unverified claims. Staying informed is good, but staying calm and focused is also important. If you are watching this and you live in Kaduna or in any nearby state, it is wise to stay aware of your environment, avoid unnecessary travel in remote forest routes, and follow updates from trusted news sources. Sharing verified information helps everyone, but sharing rumors can cause unnecessary fear. Once again, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so you can keep getting updates like this as the story develops and as more confirmed information becomes available. Right now, this is what we know. There was a real security engagement in Kaduna forest areas. Police confirmed that they stopped an attack in Giwa and that 2 attackers were taken down. And the talk of a very high number of losses is still being discussed online, but has not yet been officially confirmed. The situation shows how serious the security environment is in these forest belts and why both security forces and community groups are active there. The conversation about how to make these areas safer will continue. Some people believe community security groups should be better trained and supported. Others think they should be fully integrated into official systems. What matters most is that everyone wants the same thing, which is peace, safety, and the ability to live normal lives without fear. This story is still developing, and more updates will come as authorities release more information. I will keep following it closely so that you do not have to rely on confusing posts and mixed messages. The story keeps unfolding because when something like this happens in a forest zone, information does not come out all at once. Security teams move carefully. They secure the area first, they make sure there is no more danger, and only after that do they begin to give fuller details. That is why in the early hours you will hear many different versions of what happened. Some people will say it was very large, others will say it was small, but the truth normally comes from calm investigation and official briefing. What is very important to understand is that Kaduna's forest corridors are not just empty land. People live around them, people farm there, and many small villages depend on these routes for daily life. When any group tries to use these areas for trouble, it affects normal people the most. That is why when intelligence comes in that something bad might happen, the police and other security teams move fast to stop it. In the recent case around Giwa, they did exactly that. They acted on information, moved in, and stopped what could have been a much bigger problem. Now, when local security volunteers, sometimes called civilian joint task forces, support these operations, they do it because they know the terrain very well. They know which path leads where, they know the farming tracks, and they know which routes are normally quiet. This knowledge is valuable, but it also means they are close to the front line when something happens. So when a clash occurs, both sides are involved in a very serious situation. That is why emotions run high, and that is why stories travel very fast online. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you will continue to get clear and simple explanations like this. Your support makes a big difference. Another thing we should talk about is how social media changes the way news moves. In the past, people waited for radio or television. Today, anyone with a phone can share a message to thousands of people in seconds. This is good for speed, but it also means that mistakes can spread very fast. A number like 35 can be typed by one person and then copied by hundreds of pages before anyone has time to check if it is correct. That does not mean people are trying to lie. It means they are reacting to fear and shock. That is why it is always better to wait for confirmed statements from security agencies or well-known news organizations. They have reporters on the ground, they speak to officials, and they cross-check facts before publishing. When they say 2 people were confirmed in a particular operation, that is a number that came from direct information. When a bigger number is being shared without a clear source, it should be treated with caution until more details are released. Let us also remember the people living in these areas. For them, every security incident means tension, worry, and sometimes disruption to their daily life. Farmers may stay away from their fields for a while, traders may avoid certain roads, and families may stay indoors. So when we talk about these stories, we should think about the human side, not just the numbers. The good part of the recent operation is that it shows that security agencies are not sleeping. They are receiving intelligence, moving into forest zones, and stopping threats before they reach towns and villages. This kind of proactive action can save many lives. Even if only 2 attackers were confirmed in that operation, the bigger goal was to prevent something worse, and that is important. Once again, do not forget to like this video and subscribe. It keeps you connected to updates and helps this channel continue to bring you reliable news. As we wait for more official information, it is wise for everyone to stay calm and avoid spreading unverified claims. Share what is confirmed and allow authorities to do their work. Kaduna is a strong state with resilient people, and with continued effort from security forces and community members, the goal is always to move closer to peace and stability. This story is still ongoing, and more details may come out in the coming hours or days. I will keep following it and will update you when there is new, verified information.